Good morning. Today I'm at Lady Walk Nature Reserve and I'm here to do a little bit of bird photography. My last few days have been spent walking non-stop, so today I figured I'd come somewhere fairly local and somewhere where I can sit down and chill for most of the day. Didn't fancy putting pressure on my old knees. So today I'm going to be hanging out in my hides and just hoping something cool drops by. Now, so far my morning is going really well. So as I was walking down here, walking along a bridge which had some overhead like cables, and there were I think around 5 or 6 swallows just chilling, sitting, and for me that's so rare because I never tend to see them, well, sitting down. I always tend to have them bobbing about. So to have a fair few just sitting, relaxing, I couldn't be happier. And on top of that, a bit further down the track, I also had a green woodpecker. First one I've seen in around 6 months. Now, I couldn't get it on camera because it was just a bit too fast, but you know, they're unmistakable, you know, really large woodpeckers, bright green, beautiful birds. Anyway, I'm going to get my eyes on the water, keep checking the skies, and hopefully something cool will drop on by. Guys, so I've given it around an hour and a half here in Riverwalk hide, and I'm just going to make my way around the path, around the lake, to the next hide, which is Bittern. Now, it's a bit quiet on my lake in all honesty, so you know, a bunch of mallards, you know, cormorants flying over, all of the usual sort of stuff. But that being said, I did see a buzzard, which is awesome, and what I believe was either a peregrine or a hobby. Now, I'm going to say a peregrine because it's at a bit of a distance from me, and it was chasing lapwings, which I reckon is more of a common food source, because I think hobbies tend to go for insects as far as I'm aware. So I know they go for dragonflies and all that. I don't know if they're really brave enough to take on birds. Anywho, let's get a move on and let's get on to the next lake. The Kingfishers have been really active today, so just been walking along the river and I've had 2 bomb it past me. Now, thankfully, I actually had both of them sit still, now nowhere near each other, but it was just cool to sort of see them for a minute. So I've never really had a good eyes on with a Kingfisher. So, you know, I've never had any of these sort of like amazing photos you see online, but I'm just happy to see them, to be honest with you. You know, they are genuinely one of the UK's and probably Europe's most beautiful birds. So yeah, I'm happy with that. And again, you know, as usual, like I say, I'll keep my fingers crossed to hopefully get a good photo, but I'm always just happy with the viewing. I just made it to Bittern hide, which is the next hide, just along the circular path. I think I timed it pretty well because as I was getting to the hide itself, a sparrowhawk flew over, and as I was getting inside the hide, there was actually a hobby hunting across the trees. Now, it was pretty far away, but fingers crossed that he sort of comes back on over. So I have had hobbies hunting over this lake before, and I'd very much like to experience that again. So yeah, as usual, that optimism at play, you know, us birders all need it. So fingers crossed, I'm going to sit here for a little bit and just wait and see what happens. So currently here in Bittern, there's not really much close to where I am. Everything seems to be on the far side near Beehive. And on top of that, the wind is blowing straight in and it's a bit bloody cold right now. So what I think I'm going to do is walk on around to Beehive and go chill there for a little bit instead. It's where the sort of hobbies tend to be sort of bombing it around anyway, so I might have a better view of those. And it's also just going to be a bit warmer as well. So let's go for a walk. I've just made it to Beehive, or Kenside as it is now known. It was a bit of an uneventful walk, but that's all good. Anyway, I've now got a good healthy flock of lapwing to my right, and there also appears to be a little common sandpiper walking up and down the scrapes, which is really cool because it's the first one I've seen in a while. Interestingly as well, there also appears to be a great crested grebe with 2 young. Now I thought that it's a bit late in the season for it, but evidently not, but I'm not an expert on these sort of things. Anyway, I'm going to sit and wait here for a little bit. Hope those hobbies come on by because I'd love for an opportunity to get some photos. But, you know, aside from that, I'm just happy to be out, as I always say. So let's get watching and let's start waiting. I really wouldn't have to wait long for those hobbies to show themselves. This footage and these images were shot over the course of 2 days. Day 1 went pretty well, but the weather wasn't on my side as it was fairly overcast. The forecast for the following day, however, looked a lot more promising, so I decided to make the journey to Ladywalk once again to photograph the hobbies in the much better light. According to the Collins Bird Guide, they have a wingspan of around 70 to 84 centimetres, which makes them similar in size to the common kestrel. Often seen catching large insects above lakes, they are also known to feed on smaller birds like swallows and martins. The hobby is a migratory bird, arriving in the UK around April and leaving around September or October. While it's a shame that we only have them for the summer months, I think that we can all agree that the hobby is one incredible species, one I was very happy to sit and watch for hours on end. So please, let me know if you enjoyed these images. Personally speaking, I feel like they're some of my strongest yet. And with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching, so please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you later, folks.